Being host to so many members of the press at the preview of new Ford, Mercury, and Lincoln Zephyr cars in Dearborn October 2nd was a lot of fun, and the guests all seemed to have a good time, too. The photographic department has the proof of that in this little movie showing the main events of the day. And what a swell day it turned out to be for a trip to the country. So this is our review of the preview. After the presentation of the 1940 cars and trucks in the theater of the Ford Rotunda, everyone came out and got in one of the new cars. There were 50 new 1940 cars on hand to take guests to see some of the 15 village industries Mr. Ford has established on water power sites along some of the little streams within a radius of 50 miles of Dearborn. Here you get a glimpse of the drive-in produce stand Mr. Ford built for the boys in Camp Legion. In this camp, 65 boys from the families of needy war veterans are partners with him in a unique farming and business venture. They farm 320 acres of land. As for pay, they get $2 a day and keep and divide the profits from the sale of produce between themselves at the end of the season. The caravan, divided into 5 groups of 10 cars each, rolls along the beautiful Ann Arbor Trail. Then it draws up at Nankin Mills. This attractive little plant is the first of the Ford Village Industries. Mr. Ford established it in 1918 as part of his plan for a better balance between agriculture and industry, and to show that even small streams could provide power for industrial use. This building once was a tumble-down grist mill, a relic of pioneer days, but now it contains the most modern machinery. Here, instead of grinding meal as they did in the old days, skilled workmen make stencils and small dies for use in the big Ford Rouge plant in Dearborn. Power is provided by the stream, but nowadays the water drives an electric generator instead of turning the old mill wheel. From Nankin Mills, the route leads by the little Newburgh plant, situated at the entrance of one of the region's finest parks. The plant is in its own park-like setting on the shores of the scenic lake, which supplies water power. Ford workmen here produce twist drills for use in the Rouge plant. Then the party arrives at Plymouth. In this plant, taps for threading metal are made by highly trained craftsmen, many of whom own and operate farms in the countryside nearby. This building also is on the site of an old grist mill, and like all the others, it was designed to fit harmoniously into the countryside, for these village industry buildings are things of beauty as well as utility. The Michigan countryside is lovely at this time of year, and visitors were interested in the number of little lakes, such as this one along the route. Phoenix was the next plant on the itinerary. It was of particular interest to the ladies in our party, because almost all the employees in the Phoenix plant are women. They make small parts for the electrical system of our cars, such as generator cutouts, voltage regulators, and stoplight switches. All of them live nearby and drive to and from work, and all of them receive full Ford wages, just as do all other workers in these Ford village plants. The motorcycle escort led the way on to Waterford, a delightful little plant where precision gauges are made. Ford's standards of accuracy are very high, so much so that more than 38,000 precision gauges are in use each working day in the Ford Rouge plant. Many of the gauges are made here. Since some of the gauges are accurate to millionths of an inch, making them requires skill. And now the group gets underway for the short ride to the last plant on the schedule. This is the Northville plant, distinguished by its picturesque water wheel. This little plant really isn't so little because it employs more than 200 men from the village and nearby countryside. An old sawmill formerly stood here, and when this modern plant was built, people called it Factory in a Meadow because of the beauty of the site. They make engine valves in this plant, and the guests inspected some of the valves as they moved along on overhead conveyors. In fact, here are some of them, and them means both guests and valves are shown. Once everyone was back in the cars, the caravan wasted no time on the road back to the Ford Rotunda in Dearborn. And upon arriving there, they found the north lawn had been converted into an outdoor picnic site, with gaily colored umbrellas, rustic tables, and strolling men with mandolins, to say nothing of accordions and bowl fiddles. All the actors in the movie did particularly well in this scene. They turned in a natural and convincing performance, and no wonder. Everyone was hungry, a real barbecue assembly line. Very much among those present at the table was John R. Davis, Ford General Sales Manager, seen in action here. And enjoying himself just as much as Edsel Ford. Mr. Ford spent a busy morning welcoming the guests and needed no urging when the come and get it call was sounded. The hillbilly band from the Rouge plant serenaded at almost every table before they had to knock off for their own lunch. And now, who says the ladies aren't interested in mechanical things? When they visited the final assembly line, they started right in to help make a new 1940 Ford V8 themselves. You see it right here for yourself.